Hi, welcome. It's Veronica, co-author of Soul Steps, 52 Ways to Reconnect with Spirit. And this is our book that you've seen this green cover many times now as you tune in to our free video series and our online book club. So thanks for joining in. Thanks for coming along tonight. And once a week, just to remind you, and just in case that you're joining in for the first time, on Sunday at 7 p.m. Newfoundland Standard Time, one of the authors from Soul Steps, Natalie Finley or Florence Strang, or myself, will be here sharing one of the Soul Steps from the book. And this will be taking place for one full year. We started in early January. We'll be ending in December next year of 2019. And we are on Soul Pilgrimage Session number 9. So thanks for tuning in. You can like our page if you want to be able to tune in right away when one of the authors go live. You can sign up on our page to receive emails that will let you know when a video has been uploaded. We'll also use those emails to let you know when one of the authors are offering something that you might be interested in, or when we might just be in your area and doing the reading. So please do that. Like and share our page and sign up for our Soul Steps community. So like I said, today I am doing Soul Steps number 3. It's called Everyday Eulogy. And I'd like to dive right into that Soul Steps. You might wonder why I called this piece Everyday Eulogy. And when we think of a eulogy, obviously, we all know that it's a tribute of some kind. It's a speech that someone gives, usually at a funeral memorial service, for a departed loved one. But the eulogy I'm talking to you about today and that I speak about in this piece is a completely different type of eulogy. It's an everyday eulogy. And luckily, it's not every day that we have someone depart the physical world and lose someone in our life from the physical back to the spiritual. But it is every day that we can tune into the appreciation that a eulogy exemplifies. And that's what this piece is all about. So I'd like to read you a little excerpt from Soul Step number 3, Everyday Eulogy. I'm just going to grab my glasses. So it's on page 15. This is a really short piece. Soul Step number 3. When I was in my late 20s, my mother was in her mid-60s. Although we spoke on the phone and kept in touch, I was working in a different town at the time and rarely saw her. Her birthday was on October 23rd, and I wanted to send her a letter that conveyed how much I loved and appreciated her as a mother. In the letter, I told her how she influenced me with her dedication and tremendous sense of justice, how she taught me deep self-respect, how she showed me the freedom that comes with knowledge and education, and how she showed me, and how she was an inspiring role model because of her countless and selfless contributions to humanity. She really was. I also apologized for my behavior as a teenager, as I was moody and very irritable. And then I thanked her for some of the things that I remembered fondly. The picnics on our back deck, the camping weekends even though she didn't enjoy the deep woods, the shaker puddings in my lunch, and of course her truly profound, wise advice. She called me after receiving the letter, marveling at how good she sounded in writing. We laughed together on the phone, and she recounted how she received a number of beautiful letters from her children that particular birthday. She jokingly said it was like being eulogized. Thankfully, it wasn't until 13 years later that she passed away. As my siblings and I sat on her bedroom floor sifting through her papers, my younger sister reached across the pile with an envelope. And as she did, I felt the influence of the letter as she placed it back in my hands. Once I returned home that night, I tucked it away in my own memory box, as a reminder of how my mother laughed that day on the phone knowing that my appreciation had meant something important to her. So it was my mom who gave me the idea for the term and the title for this piece, Everyday Eulogy. Isn't it interesting when the energy of that appreciation that I put in the letter for her was returned back to me? I love that reciprocal energy of appreciation, and we're going to talk all about that in this piece, because the beauty is it's not just for the other person. We receive so much from the appreciation we put out into the world. So why did I write that letter in the first place? And why did it mean so much to my mother? Well, because first of all, I wrote the letter because she was a divine energy in my life. She and my dad were amazing role models, both in their own way. And I wear the engagement ring, and I used it as a bookmark to remind myself to move into appreciation for my parents. They both have passed. My dad when I was 17, my mom when I was 40. And I just love to remember more and more, actually, as I move through this life, the value that I received from these two beautiful people in my life. So I wanted to share that everyday eulogy with you. But we think of what eulogizing someone does, what moving into the state of appreciation can do, and why, like I said, this was so valuable to my mom that she kept it tucked away in her memory box. Well, it's because as human beings, we are interconnected. And psychologically speaking, we have a very strong emotional need to be validated. And yes, of course, it's important for you to validate your emotions for yourself. And of course, it's important for you to validate your own life. But because we are human beings, because we are interbeings, this reciprocal validation is very important to us and to our mental well-being, our mental health, and our overall lifting up of our energy. And when I think of the mood scale, have you heard of the mood scale? So, you can be very low on the mood scale, as in the bottom is immobilized, feelings of powerlessness. You could be in the middle of the mood scale, being frustrated or pessimistic. But at the top of the mood scale, which is where we all love to be, we have joyfulness, being present, and appreciation, gratitude. So we know it's really important to access that energy in order that we can lighten our own energy load, to raise our own personal vibration. So I'm just checking my notes because I just need to remember what I'm saying. I want to know what I want to share with you. So keep checking my notes. So in every piece in the book, there is a highlighted quote. And it's usually just a special nugget of information. You could go through this book and just read the highlighted quotes and really receive the essence of each of the piece. And I'd like to read to you the highlighted quote in Everyday Eulogy. Appreciation is observing with loving eyes. Love's influence carries you into a new way of seeing the world and also allows you to shift into the lightest and highest parts of your energy. Appreciation is essentially joy. It's the highest of emotional vibrations. Looking for things to appreciate every day is one of the most valuable tools for shifting out of heavy or dark energy. Being in appreciation feels like a state of grace, a place from which you are divinely connected. You have dominion over lower energies if you are in true appreciation of the life you currently live. Your mind broadens, your heart quickens, and a place where miracles open. You see the possibilities, and your life changes for the better. So this is really talking about our vibrational energy and how that shifts us into something really light and really beautiful, something that makes us feel joyful in the world on a daily basis. And I want to introduce to you the science behind that as well. So Martha Beck, a life coach, PhD from Harvard, I think in sociology, she talks about the science behind shifting into appreciation and how science shows us what actually happens in our brain. She points out that the part of the brain that is fear, where fear lives, fear is created, is a different part of the brain where appreciation lives and appreciation is created. So they are two completely different parts of the brain, and they are separate from each other. And the really cool part is when we turn on the part of the brain where appreciation is created, we automatically shut off the fearful part of our brain. Isn't that absolutely wonderful to know? Because it lets us know that we have this tool. You can switch on appreciation and switch off fear. When you recognize that you're in fear, you can actually turn your attention to appreciation and switch that on, knowing that your fear will be turned off because it's part of your physical makeup. I think that is an amazing tool that we now know we have. I mean, we know that appreciation is good, but now we know that appreciation actually turns off fear in our brain. I'm using it more. So let's relate that back to the eulogy that I was talking about. For one, when we listen to a eulogy at a funeral, it always crosses my mind, and I'm sure it crosses yours too, how much that person who had passed, our loved one, would have loved to hear all the wonderful things that is being said about them in the eulogy. And why would it have been good for them to hear it? Because then they would feel the vibration of appreciation while in this physical life. They would get to feel the interbeingness, the reciprocal energy of being appreciated. And they would lift them in this very dense physical energy that we live in. And that's why it's so important that we practice eulogizing those in our life while they're still here, so that we can start that reciprocal energy and that everyday eulogy energy can be activated. So today for your homework, or should I say your uplifting work, I would like you to consider writing an everyday eulogy for someone in your life. And I'm going to ask you to sit back. In order to discover who that someone's going to be, I'm going to ask you just to sit back and take some very deep breaths with me. Take 7, inhale for the count of 7, hold for the count of 7, exhale count for the count of 7, and then I'm going to ask you a question. Here we go. Inhale. And hold. And exhale. Now I'm going to ask you, who would you like to give this gift to today? Who would you like to write the everyday eulogy for? Let your first thought be your best thought, as a spiritual teacher used to say. Who was the person who came up for you? Was it your mom, your dad, your child, a sibling, an aunt, a coworker, a teacher, a clerk at a store that you go to often, an artist who's influenced you? Take a sec and write down in the comments below who came up for you, because it's really great. It might inspire someone else who's on today to also see the kinds of persons that are available to write a eulogy to. And you might inspire them to write to that person. Trust that the person you thought of is the person who would most benefit from this everyday eulogy, this vibrational gift that you now will offer from your energy to theirs. Trust that who came up really needs this gift from you. So I'm going to read a quote that I put online yesterday from a Buddhist monk. I don't know if I could say his name. Is it Thich Nhat Hanh? I hope I said that right. The source of love is deep in us, and we can help others realize a lot of happiness. One word, one action, one thought can reduce another person's suffering and bring that person joy. So as you bring joy to another person, as you write your everyday eulogy, I have a few tips here. And I actually took them from things that they remind you to write in a eulogy for a departed loved one. So hopefully this can really help you find the essence of this appreciation. So make a list. One is make lists of special moments or memories. 2, share your most poignant experiences, how they changed you in some way. 3, stay sincere. Simple statements of how much you value the person's help, or you valued their achievement, or you valued their inspiration. Keep it short so it's packed with meaning. You'll have a lot of meaning packed into a very small eulogy. And as spiritual teachers Abraham Hicks say, go on a rampage of appreciation. I'll talk about what that is. I love rampage of appreciation. So in addition to your everyday eulogy, I also suggest that you go on a rampage of appreciation. Do this for the benefits it will give you, just to lift your own energy, because you deserve this. You deserve to move up the mood scale and move into the highest, lightest form of our energy. What is a rampage of appreciation? It's moving into appreciation in a really big way. So one way to do that is to list 99 things that you appreciate today. 99 objects of your focus that you can really move into the appreciation energy for. Let's just review what this can do for you when you do that. You know, that can be people, that can be places, that can be things in your life, that can be moments. It can be just feelings you have. It could be the feeling a fabric gives you. It can be something as simple as how your dog makes you feel. There's so many things that we can appreciate. So what does it do when you move into these 99 things that you can appreciate, this rampage of appreciation? It raises your vibration to a higher frequency. You create positive energy that emanates out from you and returns to you as enjoyable, positive experiences. Because of this, you become magnetic, because we know like attracts like. You're raising your energy, and now like attracts like. You are going to become magnetic. Appreciation makes you naturally attractive force. It turns challenges into possibilities, problems into solutions, losses into gains. It allows you to see potential where it's normally invisible, because you weren't turned on to it. You may be in the fear brain, and now we're turning into the appreciation brain. It opens hearts and allows us to feel the interconnectivity between human beings. And as we've talked about, it's the most powerful key to stay in positive mental health. You have this tool now. You have this like magical wand. Whenever you want to turn off the fear and up your energy and up your mood, you focus your energy into appreciation. So for all these reasons, I encourage you to do also, in conjunction with the everyday eulogy, giving that energy to someone else. Do 99, a list of 99 reasons that you feel appreciation today, and do it for yourself for all the reasons we just listed. Or you can do a mini rampage of appreciation. You can, while you're sitting in the car waiting to pick up your child, you can do a list of 20. Or while you're standing in a lineup at the bank, you can list off 10. These are little mini rampages of appreciation. But also, I want to remind you that just don't list them off so that they're meaningless. You really want to put meaning into them. And a way to do that, like I mentioned my puppy, so I really appreciate having this new puppy in my life. And I'm going to now add why. Why do I appreciate that? Well, I really appreciate having this new puppy in my life would be on my list. And why? Because she has this gentle, kind energy. It's absolutely pure joy, but it's so gentle. And I love having that energy in my life. So by adding the why, you can see how I add a deeper level of meaning for me. If you're grateful in a shallow way, like just listing them off, meaningless, you'll get shallow energy in return. If you're grateful in a meaningful way, in a powerful way, you're going to get powerful energy in return. So add the why. I'm grateful for this, and this is why. It'll take you to a deeper level. And also, if you can go from 99, you can do 20, but you can also just do one that moves you from fear to appreciation in this moment, that brings you to the present moment and lifts your energy. Just one thing that you appreciate in this moment right now. Perhaps we can do that as a group. We can list that one thing and why you're appreciating it. Put it in the comments below so we can all see the variety of appreciations that we're having at this moment. One thing. Maybe you're sitting in a really nice chair. I love the color of this chair. Purple is my favorite color. So I really appreciate that I get to sit here in this purple chair teaching you. What are you appreciating right now? Put it in the comments below. We'd love to see and hear from you. So before I leave, let's look at the soul journey, and I'm going to read that to you. And I want to show you, as every single time I'm sure we do, at the end of every soul step, there is a soul journey section where you can actually practice the tool. So it takes it from our stories and how we have changed our life to how you can now tell your story and change your life as well. So first there's a soul step, then a soul message, and a soul focus. And I'm just going to turn to the soul focus and read that to you. It's easier to appreciate people when we like. It's easier to appreciate people we like or to have appreciation for things we find pleasing. It's much more challenging to move into the energy of appreciation when faced with situations that are more complex or people who make us bristle. These are the bigger shifts that require a deeper practice. Albert Schweitzer, a French-German theologian, said, "Developing a true sense of gratitude involves taking absolutely nothing for granted." That's the practice, isn't it? Rather, we always look for the friendly intention behind the deed and learn to appreciate it. We look for the friendly intention behind the deed, because often our fearful brain is looking for a way to protect us. Oh, they're saying that because, or they did that because. Trying to do something to us or trying to hurt us. No, instead, switch off your fearful brain by going into appreciation and looking for, this is another tool, I love this one, looking for the friendly intention behind the deed that you first thought was bad or wrong somehow. That moves you into appreciation. In more difficult circumstances, look for the smallest thing to help you move into appreciation. Where will you find the friendly intentions behind what you first thought was disagreeable? So, let me just have a look. Yeah. So no matter where you are at this moment, you have an opportunity right now to do just what this theologian was saying. You have an opportunity to move into a state of gratitude. And it depends on what you decide to have in your heart and in your mind. Will you stay in those fearful thoughts? Will you move your focus to appreciation? Before I go, I want to just review what we did today. So, I skipped something and I don't want to skip it because it's so beautiful. So, Marianne Williamson, I'm sure you've heard her, read some of her books, and she wrote a book on the Course in Miracles. She does a lot of work around that. But she said this about appreciation. She says that you are either blaming yourself or you're blaming others. You are either blessing yourself or you are blessing others. I really love that. I really love what this means. Where am I in this particular moment? Are you blaming or are you blessing? Am I blaming or am I blessing? Am I clinging to the reality of a disaster or the sadness or the uncomfortable situation that's happening right now? Or am I looking for the possibility of the miracles that are in the situation that's in front of me now? Because it's all happening in my mind and my heart. I'm the only person who can look for the friendly intention behind the deed. I'm the only person who can look for the blessing instead of staying blaming. And to see a miracle, she says, we need to be that miracle. We have to have miracle vision, miracle focus. We have to look for what's right. We have to look for all the possibilities and look for ways to appreciate where we are right now. So, just to review what we did today. 1, go on a rampage of appreciation and write down 99 things today that you can appreciate and add the why. You are going to shift big time out of your fear into a higher, lighter energy, and you're going to notice after those 99 things how much better you feel. Number 2, move out of fear in your brain and in your body. Move away from struggle and into a joyful state. This is your tool to use. Isn't it amazing that we have this little magical wand that we can shut off fear and open up appreciation? Because they happen simultaneously. Fear and appreciation cannot happen at the same time. It's either one or the other. And we have the tool to shift out of fear by moving in and focusing our vision on possibilities, on what's good in this moment. It's our tool to use. It's your tool to use. You can use it, remember what we said, in waiting in a line. You can use it while you're in the shower in the morning to kickstart your day and to raise your energy in the morning. Or you can use it just before you go to sleep, so that while you're sleeping, you are processing this very high energy in your subconscious mind. And 3, what this piece was all about, practice your interbeingness. Practice nourishing happiness for others and write your everyday eulogy today. So thank you so much for watching all the way through. Please like our page and share this post. Share it with someone else who you think could benefit from the energy of appreciation and could also benefit from shutting off that fearful feelings in their body. Let me know who you picked for your everyday eulogy. I would love to hear from you. Let me know how it changed and affected that person, and also how it changed and affected you. It's perfect interbeingness, the perfect reciprocal energy. I'd love to see how it's working for you. So I hope this video has been helpful for you today. Next week, Florence will be back, and the week after that, Natalie Finley will be back. And in 3 weeks' time, I'll be back again with Soul Step number 4, You'll Be Blessed. See you then.